So I'm trying to test the sound now. I am trying to test the sound. So I'm trying to test the sound now. I am trying to test the sound. So tell everyone who joined to rejoin. So the sound is now okay. The sound is now okay. The sound is now okay. So I'm just waiting for those who joined earlier to join back. Unfortunately, we had a disruption in the sound. 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 So I'll give those who joined earlier, I'll give them 2 to 3 minutes to join back. To join back. So if any one of you had joined and you're with your friends, you can tell them that we are back. We are back here. We are back here. Tell them that we are back. So I'll give those who joined earlier to rejoin. I'll give those who are joining just a few minutes. So I'm giving those who are joining, or rejoining rather, just a few minutes. I'll give those who are joining just a few minutes. Just a few minutes. Let's say 2 to 3 minutes. I'm giving those who are joining 2 to 3 minutes. Those who are rejoining 2 to 3 minutes. I'm giving those who are rejoining 2 to 3 minutes. So we start at exactly 20:50. So I've given them at least 3 minutes to join. I have given them 3 minutes to join back. I have given them 2 to 3 minutes to join back. So if you know someone who is doing mathematics, you can simply tag them along. 2 more minutes to go. 2 more minutes to go. 2 more minutes to go and we start. 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 I hope everyone can now get me. I hope you can now get me now. I hope you can get me now. Now, so just 1 minute and we start. 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 Anyone who is joining, they'll definitely find us. Anyone joining will definitely find us. Anyone joining will definitely find us. If you have any questions, you can simply write them out in the comment section. If you have any questions, you can simply write them out in the comment section. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go. 1 minute to go and we start. 1 minute to go and we start. 1 minute to go and we start. A minute and we start. So at least we've tried to notify those who joined to rejoin. So if everyone is here, we'll definitely start. So it's already 2050. So like I said earlier, Earth geometry is just looking at a circle in 3D. And I said that you have lines on the surface of the Earth. You have lines on the surface of the Earth. So these lines, of course, are invisible. You can't see them. So if you're waiting to see the line of the equator or the line of 20 degrees north, you are unable to see them. Why? You can't see them, in fact. Now, what I said is that for this surface, what you have is a north, south, east, west. And you have lines that are running from the east to the west and from the north to the south. 2 lines. Now, in terms of positioning of the points here, what you'll be looking at, number 1, are latitudes and longitudes. Latitudes and longitudes. Latitudes and longitudes. Now, in terms of latitudes, how do they move or how do they run? So, latitudes run from the east to the west. Latitudes run from the east to the west. Latitudes run from the east to the west. Now, if you have of course, let's say this is your line. This is your eastern side, and this is your western side. If you just have any line, of course, to your right, that's the east, left, that is your west. So we are looking at how these lines are running. So number 1, latitudes are written in terms of these positions. So latitudes have east or west as, let's say, units, in inverted commas, of course, units. That means whenever Jews, this is supposed to be longitudes, rather, just made a simple mistake. Longitudes. Let me start with the longitudes. These are supposed to be longitudes, rather. I made a mistake. Longitudes. So, longitudes run from the east. So, let me just do this. Let me just start this again, so that you can see this clearly. So someone just asked, that's why let's just start with the normal latitudes, of course. Now, latitudes run from the east to the west, east to west, east to west. So this is a latitude, this is also a latitude, that is also a latitude. So these 3 are latitudes. So this is in terms of their running, not positioning. So latitudes run from the east to the west. Then positioning. Position. Since they are running from the east to the west, that means you'd have this line east and you have this line west. East, west. So these are running from the east to the west. East to the west. Down here, east to the west. East to the west. Now I'll call this line as your 0 degrees. 0 degrees. This line is your 0 degrees. Of course, this is your west and that is your east. Now on this surface of the earth, there are what we know as hemisphere. Hemisphere. That means it's half. So if this is a 0, this is 1/2 and that's the other half. So this is known as the northern hemisphere. This is known as the northern hemisphere. Up here is your northern hemisphere. Down here is your southern hemisphere. So northern up, southern down. Northern up, southern down. That means if you are writing these latitudes, the units that you'll be using are north and south. Why? Let's go back to this. So this is your northern hemisphere and this is your southern hemisphere. So these lines show how far you are from your equator. How far you are from your equator. Now, where are you moving towards? The northern side. North. If you go downwards, where are you moving towards? The southern side. So you have a 0 here. You have a 0 here. Upwards is x degrees north. So this is x degrees north. There it's y degrees north. So whenever you see north, north, just know that that is a latitude. Why? You are looking at its position from the equator. Its position from the equator. Its position from the equator. So I'll have to I'll start this again. So we are so someone said they don't understand. Now I'll show something that is easy. Let me just I hope the sound is okay. I hope the sound is okay. I hope the sound is okay. Let's start this from somewhere. In terms of positioning, what we are trying to find, number one, is the position of any point on the surface of the earth. For example, Lusaka. So if we are finding the position of Lusaka, that means it will be ordered as latitude, longitude. That's how these are ordered. Latitude, longitude. Now, how do these run? Number one, latitudes, I'll try by all means to be as far as I can. Latitudes, they run from the east to the west. They run from the east to the west. That's number one. They run from the east to the west. That's how they run. So if you are looking at latitudes, that means if this is the surface of the earth, these are what are known as latitudes. Why? This is your east and this is your west. So all these are latitudes. All these are latitudes. All these are latitudes. Now, latitudes run or range from 0 to 90 degrees. Latitudes run from 0 to 90 degrees. 0 to 90 degrees. That means you'd never have a latitude which is more than 90. It's impossible. Now, how do you find positions of these latitudes? So, the most important latitude that one has to know is the equator. The equator is the most important latitude that one has to know. Equator. So this is 0 degrees, of course. This is 0 degrees. So this is a latitude which divides the earth. Divides the earth into two hemispheres. So a latitude is a line which divides the earth into two hemispheres. What do we mean? I bet you've heard of the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. So if this is your latitude, 0 degrees, of course. If this is your equator, 0 degrees. This here is what is known as your northern hemisphere. So this is your northern hemisphere. And down here is what is known as your southern hemisphere. So mathematics is not about notes. It's about you knowing concepts. So there's your northern hemisphere and there's your southern hemisphere. Northern hemisphere and your southern hemisphere. So any latitude that is above your equator is in the northern hemisphere. Any latitude that is above the equator is in the northern hemisphere. Okay. Any latitude that is above your equator is in the northern hemisphere. Any latitude. Any latitude below your equator is in the southern hemisphere. Now, how do you know its position, or how do you name its position? So I've said from there up to there is supposed to be 90. So 90 should be the maximum number. From 0 up down here, it should also be a 90 degrees. That's the maximum. So if you draw any line here running from the east to the west, it will be in the southern hemisphere or in the northern hemisphere. So the units for latitudes, it's either north or south. Units for latitudes, it's either north or south. northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. So these are running, yes, from the east to the west, but their units are in terms of these two hemispheres. So you don't write your latitude as 30 degrees east, that's a longitude. So you write them as 30 degrees north or 40 degrees south. What do I mean? So this is what I meant. So just on this is your 30 degrees north and this is your 40 degrees south. That's how you write latitudes. 30 degrees above your equator, of course, this is your 0, and it's on the northern side, or 40 degrees south, while it is below on the southern side. So before I proceed, I don't know if there's any question before I proceed. So I'm trying by all means to be as simplified as I can. I'm trying by all means to be as simplified as I can. So you can take a look at this. So 30 degrees north on the northern hemisphere, 40 degrees south on the southern hemisphere. So these are latitudes. Now, looking at longitudes. Longitudes. So these they run from the north, to the south. They run from the north to the south, north to south. And the most important longitude that we have is what is known as a Greenwich Meridian. So longitudes are also known as meridians. Longitudes are also known as meridians. So Greenwich Meridian. So any longitude will divide the Earth into two equal parts. Any longitude. So that's why you don't have, like, let's say the eastern hemisphere, you don't have the western hemisphere, we don't have such. So the number of the lines of symmetry for the Earth in terms of the longitudes, it's infinite. Like that, it's infinite. So this Greenwich Meridian is, of course, your 0 degrees. Greenwich Meridian is your longitude, which is at 0 degrees. Your Greenwich Meridian is at 0 degrees. So whenever you are looking at positioning, you definitely look at how, if this is your Greenwich, of course, 0 degrees. Your side to your right is your eastern side. Your side to your left is your western side. So 0 longitude, to your right, eastern side, to your left, the western side. Eastern side, western side. That means units for longitudes, it's either east or west. Longitudes are written as either east or west. Now, let me first let me see if we have any. So I'm trying to be as brief as I can. I'm trying to be as brief as I can, and I'm trying to be as simplified as I can. I am trying to be as simplified as I can. So I'm trying to take note if we have any questions. Now, I've said that for longitudes, they run from the north to the south. But how do they position themselves? It's either east or west. So if we can draw a sphere here, definitely let's look at longitudes on a sphere. So this is our sphere, of course, so don't mind about the shape of this. Now, that's your 0 degrees, of course. That is your 0 degrees, which is your Greenwich Meridian. First longitude on the right. So this will be x degrees east. It might be any number. If you have another one there, it will be y degrees east. So I am using letters so that this can be as easy as possible. I am using letters so this can be as easy as possible. Where you don't understand, you ask. Where you don't understand, you ask. Then if you have another longitude to your left, now this will be a degrees west. It's just a net, of course. Okay, let's just use actual numbers for some of us who really be confused. 30, 70 degrees. This is a 20 degrees west. So if you add another one, it will be something degrees west. Now, for longitudes, they run from 0 up to 180 degrees. From 0 up to 180 degrees. That's how they run. So, at 180 degrees, that is known as an international date line. That's 180 degrees. So, for latitudes, I said it's from 0 up to a 90. For longitudes, it's from 0 up to 180. That means you can have 120 degrees, you can have like that. Now, how do you prove that? How do you prove that? So if there's a 180 on the right and there's a 180 on the left, adding those two, they give you 360 degrees. They give you 360 degrees. 360 degrees. So 360 is a complete revolution. A complete revolution. That means in 360 degrees made, that's equal to 24 hours in a day. That's 360. So if it makes a 360 degrees, that means what it has made is 24 hours. So we shall look at time later on, but I'm trying by all means to be simplified as I can here. So before I proceed, is there any question before I proceed? Any questions before I proceed? So if you have any questions, you can type them out or write them out in the comment section. If you have any questions, you can write them out in the comment section. Any questions can be written down in the comment section. Any questions can be written down in the comment section. Any questions can be written down in the comment section. Any questions can be written down in the comment section. Now, let's look at an example of the positioning of these vectors, of these points. Now, let's draw a sphere and let's label it. So we are drawing a sphere and we are labeling it. We are drawing a sphere and we are labeling it. Now, so this is our 0 degrees, of course. This is our 0 degrees again. This is 20 degrees east, and this is 30 degrees east. Let's just have one here, which is 40 degrees west, like that. So we have this surface of the earth. You can take a look at it closely. So let's have 50 degrees north, and let's have let's trace this. So 30 degrees east. So this is 70 degrees south. So let's have point A, point B. Let's have point, let's say point C here. Let's have point D here. So point A, point B, point C, point D. We can even have point E. Anything here. Point E. So we are looking at the positions of A, B, C, D, E. Positioning of A, B, C, D, E. Positioning or positions of A, B, C, D, E. Positions of A, B, C, D, E. The positions. So like I said, it's latitude, comma, longitude. It's latitude, comma, longitude. Latitude, comma, longitude. That's the positioning that we are looking at here. So A, B, C, D, E, like that. Now, for A, what is our latitude? For A, what is our latitude? That should be our main goal right now, to know our latitude. Latitude of A. Where does A lie in terms of the latitude? Where does A lie in terms of the latitude? Where does A lie in terms of the latitude? So we can all clearly see that the latitude of A is 50 degrees north. 50 degrees north. That is the latitude of A. 50 degrees north. 50 degrees north. That is the latitude of A. So position of A, position of A, position of A, position of A is equal to 50 degrees north latitude, comma. Let's look at the longitude. Let's look at the longitude here. So the longitude, of course, is a 0. It's a 0 degrees. 0 degrees. So it's 50 degrees north, comma 0 degrees. That's the position of A. 50 degrees north, comma 0 degrees. So this has got no side, or it has got no units. This one, because it's your Greenwich Meridian. It has no units. It has no units. It has no units. Then let's look at B. B. So B again is on 50 degrees north. They are lying on the same latitude. Then the longitude. The longitude now it's on this 20 degrees east. That's the longitude of B. So our latitude is a 50, our longitude is a 20. So B is at 50 degrees north, comma 20 degrees east. That's the position of B. 50 degrees north, comma 20 degrees east. That's the position of B. So if you have any questions on how I am finding this, you can ask in the comment section. You can ask in the comment section. You can definitely ask in the comment section. Then C. Let's look at C now. So our latitude for C is this, 70 degrees south. So latitude of C is 70 degrees south. Then our longitude of C is 30 degrees east. 30 degrees east. So it's 70 degrees south, comma 30 degrees east. That's the position of C. Like I said, if you're having any challenges with what I'm writing right now, you can simply ask in the comment section. If you have any challenges with what I am writing right now, you can simply ask in the comment section. I really don't want anyone to lag behind. I really don't want anyone to lag behind. D. Position of D. Position of D. So D is on 70 degrees south, and of course our longitude is 40 degrees west. 70 degrees south and 40 degrees west. So D is at 70 degrees south and 40 degrees west. That's that of D. 70 degrees south and 40 degrees west. 70 degrees south and 40 degrees west. Then the last one, E. E is on 0 degrees latitude and is on 40 degrees west. So is latitude rather is 0 degrees, then its longitude is 40 degrees west. So let's have the last one, F. Let's have the last one, F here. F is here. F is the new position. F is our 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 new position. So the latitude of F is 0 degrees. The latitude of F is 0 degrees. So F is at 0 degrees. The longitude again of F again is 0 degrees. So it's 0 degrees, 0 degrees. That's the position of F. So you can take a look at the diagram for the last time. Then you can definitely see the answers which we found. So I said I'll be here for a maximum of 40 minutes. I'll be here for a maximum of 40 minutes. So if you have any questions, you can ask. You can ask, because I am concluding this broadcast ASAP. So learning starts or resumes in our online classes tomorrow morning. So we'll definitely send the maths videos, the chemistry, physics, biology videos in the morning. Then we'll definitely send the work where necessary. So for mathematics, we are doing matrices. For biology, we are looking at ecology. For physics, we shall look at measurements. For chemistry, we shall look at bonding, atomic structure, bonding, and the likes. That's what we are starting tomorrow. So if you want to join our classes, you can simply send me a message via my inbox. So I'll put up the WhatsApp line tomorrow, such that if you want to just send us a message on WhatsApp, you can just simply open it. So this has been Dr. Purpose. God willing, I'll be live tomorrow. I will let you all know when I'll be live. But in the evening, we'll always be live here. Always, daily. So better check daily. We'll always be live here. So I am signing out. Any questions, you can send them in my inbox. So have a good night.